Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nikonsat. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has inaugurated the National Campaign Council of the party for the governorship election in Ondo State. The inauguration ceremony held in Akure, the state capital, with Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as chairman and former Deputy Senate President Ovie Omo-Agege as secretary. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The ceremony was attended by Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, and his Ekiti State counterpart, Biodu Oyebanji, both of who are chairmen of the subcommittee of the campaign council. Speaking at the event, the national chairman of Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, says the national leadership of the APC will leave no stone unturned in its efforts to achieve an overwhelming victory in November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. The chairman further charged members of the committee to put all effort into the campaign to make the party's victory a smooth one.
This geopolitical zone is a task that must be done. Yes, sir. Through democratic means. We urge you to mobilize members of our party, mobilize members of public to ensure that we win this election. We are here to encourage you. We are here to motivate you.
Accepting the role as the chairman of the campaign council, Governor Sanwo-Olu Babajide expressed confidence that the people of Ondo State will vote massively for Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa on November 16, 2024.
We want to assure our party, we want to assure all of you here that we do everything within our means, constitutionally, professionally, within the norms of any election, to ensure that a free, fair, highly competitive election and campaign about issues is what we will be doing.
In his address, Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, acknowledged his leadership and vision, unifying the party and fostering a renewed sense of hope among its members. He says the inauguration of the campaign council is a display of the strength of working together. Highlighting the administration's achievement over the past 10 months, the governor says his administration has constructed over 70 kilometers of rural roads aimed at enhancing access to agricultural area, job creation, including recruitment of workers in critical sectors, as well as enhanced healthcare delivery.
It's a display of the strength of our will when we work together. It is the evidence of our capability, which by God's grace will produce victory on the 16th of November 2024.
However, Governor Ayedatiwa honored the late Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, the former governor of Ondo State, with a moment of silence to pay respect to the deceased. The high point of the event was the inauguration of the National Campaign Council of All Progressive Congress for the governorship election in Ondo State, and the handing over of the working instrument to the chairman of the council. From Akure, Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched a sweeping crackdown on beggars, scavengers, and street vendors, with 34 individuals detained across various parts of Abuja. This action followed a recent ministerial directive ordering such individuals to leave the Federal Capital Territory. The operation concluded by a joint task force comprising the police, the Army Department of State Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other paramilitary agencies targeted 4 major areas: the city center, the airport, the Kubwa-Gwarimpa area and the Asokoro-Nyanya-Karo corridor. The FCT Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Dusu, described the clampdown as a national assignment, directing officers to enforce the mandate with professionalism and resolve. The Nigerian Air Force says the air component of Operation Hadinkai has eliminated scores of terrorists at 2 locations in Bula Mawa in Borno State. According to a statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olushola Akimbo Yewa, issued in Abuja, the NAF having identified Bula Marwa as a high-level meeting site for Boko Haram's notorious figures, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. ISR missions further confirmed heightened terrorist activity. He said the IRS reviewed an influx of motorcycles and gatherings of combatants across the site, and now fighter jets were dispatched to the location for an air interdiction mission. He said that the NAF air assets launched a precision airstrike on the location, achieving a direct hit and neutralizing numerous terrorists. The Ogun State government has shut down Obada Grammar School, Obada, Idi Imi, over the death of an SS2 student of the school, Monday, Irijo. These followed the arrest and suspension of the teacher allegedly responsible for the death of the student last week as a result of corporal punishment. The principal of the school, Mrs. Tamrat Onau Lakpo, who was earlier issued a query for allowing corporal punishment to be used on the people against the established rules and regulations in the state, has also been suspended. This was contained in a statement by Mr. Lekon Adeniran, the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Dakpo Abiodun, to journalists. Meanwhile, representatives of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology were also said to have visited the family of the late student. The National Orientation Agency in Akwa Ibom State has said the government traced 6 Mpox cases to 1 household in the state. The development made the government commence a sensitization exercise to educate the people on the prevalence and prevention of Mpox disease in the state. This is coming as a report from the Ministry of Health indicated that Akwa Ibom State recorded 8 cases of Mpox outbreak. According to data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Nigeria recorded 67 confirmed cases of Mpox from 1,031 suspected cases in 23 states and the Federal Capital Territory. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, federal government says electricity will be restored to northern states in 5 days. Details of this, as well as business and foreign stories, coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Back from the break, and in business, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, says electricity will be restored to the 17 northern states that have experienced outages due to vandalism of the Shiroro-Kaduna transmission line. Adelabu stated this while addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. He explained that the power supply disruption in the northern region was caused by a damage to the Shiroro-Kaduna transmission line, which is the area's primary source of electricity. He assured that repairs would be completed within 3 to 5 days, just as he urged residents of the northern states to be patient. The minister, who promised that electricity would be restored soon, also mentioned that the Federal Executive Council had previously approved plans for upgrading the Shiroro-Kaduna transmission line, one of Nigeria's oldest. Adelabu also pledged to hold a meeting with the chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and all distribution companies DISCOs to ensure that customers in the north are not billed during the blackout period. The federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Authority, has issued licenses for 9 modular refineries. The chief executive of the NMDPR, Farouk Ahmed, said this at the 2024 Oil Trading and Logistics Africa Downstream Energy Week in Lagos. He said the licenses were issued under President Bola Tinubu's administration in the past year. According to him, Nigeria's refining capacity has been increasing under the current administration, especially with the Dangote refinery coming on stream. The federal government has announced plans to assist 600,000 small-scale farmers across the country. This is part of efforts in boosting production and address rising inflation. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, in a statement by the Direct Information and Public Relations, Mohammed Manga, disclosed this at the Nigerian delegation press briefing during the 2024 IMF and World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C. Edun stated that the government is focused on gathering the wet season harvest while providing support to ensure a productive dry season. On the foreign scene, New Zealand speeds up the registration process of overseas doctors to tackle its persistent doctors shortage. Reports said that this initiative forms part of the broader plan to strengthen the country's healthcare workforce. Health Minister Shane Ristead that work is being done to build the nation's own homegrown health workforce. Internationally qualified specialists continue to have a critical role in providing quality health services for New Zealanders. The Medical Council also confirmed that the streamlined registration applies to specialists in fields such as anesthesia, dermatology, emergency medicine, general practice, internal medicine, pathology, and psychiatry. Ghana could buy petroleum products from Nigeria's Dangote Petroleum Refinery once the facility is operating at full capacity, cutting more expensive export from Europe, the head of the country's oil regulator has said. Chairman of the National Petroleum Authority, Ghana, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, said this could end monthly fuel imports from Europe of $400 million. He spoke at the OTL Africa Downstream Oil Conference in Lagos. Marketers of the product in Nigeria have since commenced the importation of PMS in hundreds of millions of liters following the total deregulation of the downstream oil sector in Nigeria by the federal government. However, at the function in Lagos, the Ghanaian Petroleum Authority official stated that his country might start importing fuel from Nigeria refinery. Israel faced a mounting international backlash after its parliament approved a bill banning the main United Nations aid agency for the devastated Gaza Strip. Despite objections from the United States and warning from the United Nations Security Council, Israeli lawmakers overwhelmingly passed the bill banning the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees, United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, from working in Israel and annexed East Jerusalem. Israel strictly controls all humanitarian aid shipment to Gaza, and lawmakers also passed a measure prohibiting Israeli officials from working with UNRWA and its employees. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency has provided essential aid, schooling, and health care across the Palestinian territories and to Palestinian refugees elsewhere for more than 7 decades. And jumping into the world of sports, the Super Falcons will host Algeria's Green Ladies in the second leg of their international friendly at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, with kickoff now scheduled for 2 p.m. instead of the earlier advertised 4 p.m. Captain Rasheedat Ajibade's first brace secured a 2-0 victory for the 9-time African champions in Saturday's first leg at the Remo Stars training complex, Ikenne. The Spain-based attacking midfielder opened the scoring in the 24th minute, capitalizing on defenders Oluwatosin's Dimenhin's pass to lob the ball over the Algerian goalkeeper Amel Salah. She doubled the lead just before halftime with a spectacular 22-yard strike into the top corner. NFF's head of international competitions, Dayo Enebi Akor, explained that the kickoff time was adjusted to accommodate the Algerian delegation's return flight on Qatar Airways. Libyan Football Federation President Nasser Al-Suways has strongly kicked against CAF's verdict of a $50,000 fine and a forfeiture of 3 points and 3 goals to Nigeria over the delisted 2025 AFCON qualifying Group D fixture scheduled for October 15 in Benina. According to reports, Al-Suways described the ruling as unjust and malicious, alleging that the Nigerian Football Federation's influence within CAF played a major role in the outcome. Libyan Football Federation was given 60 days to pay the fine after being found guilty of violating Article 31 of the 2019 African Cup of Nations regulations of the Confederation of African Football, as well as Article 82 and 151 of the Confederation's disciplinary code by first diverting the Benghazi-bound Nigeria's flight to Al Barak International Airport, where the Super Eagles players and crew were held hostage by Libyan authorities for 18 hours without food and water. Al-Suways confirmed that the LFF would file an official appeal within hours, calling the sanctions unacceptable and further indicating that if the appeal is denied, the LFF would resort to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to ensure their legitimate rights are secured. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276 and free to air on Nikon Sat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. I am Anthony Momodu. Thank you for watching.